Today I'm going to show you guys how to handle a thing about an objection. Now, almost every sales trainer online says, oh guys, it's a smoke screen, you gotta get the real objection. And yes, that's the case sometimes, not always. Sometimes people genuinely have a way of thinking of needing to spend time before making a decision. And so rather than just trying to uncover the real objection, we have to overcome that way of thinking itself. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Andres Contreras, and in the past year and a half, I went from being a 16-year-old normal ass kid with a $0 net worth and a terrible haircut to a year and a half later making $160,000 a month profit as a recently turned 18-year-old as of last weekend, having a community with the goal of making sales education free to everybody with 13,000 members, and having ran alongside my business partner Yash, the sales team of the largest B2C sales training company in the world, doing $3.5 million a month in revenue. So I'd like to think I know at least a thing or two about objections, right? So let's get right into it. So first off, let's cover the smokescreen variation of I need to think about it. This is whenever you pitch a price, whatever, and whether it be price shock or they're just a little bit surprised or they just want to give you a smokescreen, like, oh, I just need to think about it, man. So all you have to do is you just go, okay, man, like, not a problem. Like, if I can ask, what's behind that between you and I? It's literally that simple. I'm not going to overcomplicate it for you guys. That's all you do. You handle the smokescreen by asking what's behind that. Then from there, they'll give you the real objection, and then you overcome it. This is scenario one. Scenario two is after you go, not a problem, man. Like, if I can ask what's behind that between you and I? Sometimes they'll be like, oh, this is just how I make decisions, man. Like, this is just who I am as a person. And that's when we go into number two, which is their decision-making process. So here's how you overcome it. Now, in order to do this effectively, we have to understand the structure of a reframe. So what's the structure of a reframe? The structure of a reframe is a frame, a pushback, a consequence, and a CTA, a call to action, which in other words is just closing them again. So here's what it sounds like specifically for the decision making. When somebody goes, oh man, like it's just, this is how I make decisions. Like I just need a day. All I go, okay, man, is that like usually how you make these type of decisions? They say yes. Then you go, okay, fair enough, man. And would you agree like the mindset we have kind of shapes how we make decisions? They'll agree once again. And that decision making process, do you feel like that affects kind of the results we've gotten up to this point and the results we continue to get? And they'll always say, well, yeah, of course. Okay, man, so out of curiosity, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you're making $100,000 a month in straight commission selling, you're the best in the world, everybody looks up to you, you're able to provide for everybody around you, you have the lifestyle you perfectly want to live. And 1 being like you haven't really done anything, you're just kind of the average, you haven't really progressed and you're not able to live that life that you want to live. Where do you feel you kind of lie at the moment in terms of like your sales career? And they'll usually be like, oh, well, I'm a 4. Once they say I'm a 4, we need to make them justify it. So all we go is like, okay, and why a 4? Like, why not a 10? Oh, because like, you know, like I've been trying this for so long and I can't figure it out. Like, I don't know what to do. Then all you have to do is go, okay, man. So like if your current mindset and your current way of making decisions has put you in a position where you feel like you're at a 4 in your career, are you really willing to allow that same way of thinking and that same way of making decisions to shape your finances, your career, your family, and everything else like moving forward? Now, it's a very obvious answer. They'll always be like, no, right? That's the first step, the frame. The second step is the pushback. So we just go, well, why not, man? Because like reality is you could. You could be like, oh, no, I'm okay with that being the reality. I'm okay with keeping the same way of thinking. Like, why actually draw that line in the sand and like make that change? Oh, because I know like if nothing changes, and like I'm not okay with staying in the same position. Yeah, because what do you think would happen if you were okay with staying in the same position? And you decided, no, I'm gonna keep the same way of thinking that's put me in this position and let it dictate my future moving forward. What do you think the future would look like at that point? That's a consequence question. And then from there, they'll be like, oh, well, like nothing would change, man. Like I would stay in the same position. I still wouldn't be able to provide for my family or get to the 20K a month in commission. Then all you have to do is call to action, reclose. So what decision do you feel like you need to make, man? So when your head hits the pillow tonight, you know that today you did everything in your power to get to that 20K a month in commissions, change the way you make decisions so you can provide better for you and your family. Oh, well, I need to do it. And then from there, again, you've made the sale. All you need to do is collect payment. Now, there's one nuance to this frame. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes when you ask the 1 to 10 question, they'll be like, oh, well, I feel like I'm an 8. All you have to do to handle that is you just go, okay, man, so like if you're an 8, what's a 10? And they'll be like, oh, well, a 10's like 100K a month and like being the perfect human being and everybody looking up to me, etc. Okay, man, so like if that's a 10 and you feel like you're an 8, what's a 0? Is it like in a friggin' tombstone like dead or what? And they'll always be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, you're right. I guess I'm more like a 4. right? And then again, you just continue through the process, do the exact same thing. Now that's the frame itself and the structure of it. But if you don't understand the reason why it works and what you're doing psychologically, it will not be as effective. So let me explain it to you. If I clear this, the only things we actually need to get agreements to is that number one, our way of making decisions shapes the results that we get. And number two, that our mindset shapes the way of making decisions. Because once we've gotten this, it's allowed us to connect the fact that they usually take time to make decisions, which again is their decision making, to their mindset, and then to them not getting results. Because if they understand psychologically that them not getting results is because they take time to make decisions, what does that make them psychologically want to do? I want to push away from that way of making decisions and step into a new, more successful one. And even though this is showing how to handle a think about it objection, this really works for anything. And this is how you overcome fear objections as a whole. Because the principle is, again, their way of making decisions has gotten them bad results, therefore they have to change it. That applies to anything. Them saying, oh, this just feels expensive. That is their mindset. That's their perspective. They feel like it's expensive. Them saying, oh, well, I just don't have the time, man. Like, I don't have the time. That's their mindset. They could find the time. They could move around their schedule to make the time. Think about it. Great, that's their way of making decisions. That's their perspective. That's how they make decisions. That's what's caused them to get bad results. It all works the exact same way. So this is how to handle think about it objections. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm on a mission to make sales education accessible and available to everybody completely for free because it changed my life so much and I wanted to be able to change yours. So if you look in the description below, I'm gonna put the link to the group where it has free sales training, including how to handle every single objection. It has offers that you can start selling for as soon as tomorrow, regardless of experience. It has free coaching sessions that me and my business partner Yash run. He also made $120,000 a month in straight commission selling at 18 years old. And it even has live sales call recordings of us selling. So if you feel that'd be helpful or you just want to be a part of the mission, you think it's great, click the link in the description and I'm happy to see you on the other side.